What's up? What's up? What's up? Boxing fans, welcome to episode 12 of Boxing Rampage. I am your host, JC, accompanied by...
Flago right here. Good afternoon, everybody, or good evening.
Good evening, yeah. It's Monday, February 6, 2017. We apologize greatly because last week we were unable to do the podcast due to other commitments. You know, you got work, you got life. Scheduling, yeah, basically. And so we missed talking about last week. I know it's better late than never. So this will kind of be a modified podcast. We'll jump into last week, then we'll talk about this week and, you know, what's to come. So right off the bat, what do you want to go with it?
Well, we had an amazing schedule of boxing with we had Leo Santa Cruz versus Frampton. We also had Garcia versus can you pronounce that name for me?
His name is Dejan Zlaticanin. But
Well,
this is good Dejan.
Great card on Showtime, and also a great card on HBO with Francisco Vargas versus
Miguel Berchelt.
Berchelt.
That was a great fight.
Yeah, that was an awesome fight. Another name that I can. And then the Miura versus
Takashi Miura.
Miguel
Roman.
Roman. That's it.
Right. So, just on a side note, just want to mention congratulations to Saddam Ali over his victory this weekend for Jorge Silva. He scored a third round KO. So starting out, let's I guess we could jump right into the Frampton Santa Cruz because I guess that's the highlight of the evening.
And I will give you a lot of props because you said it that Santa Cruz was gonna adjust, and that's just what happened.
Thank you.
And I was wrong, and
nice.
I didn't thought Santa Cruz had it in him. I mean, I don't know. We usually not accustomed to see him adjust, but they had a great game plan, and I guess that Frampton and his team couldn't figure out how to get over our jab.
Yeah.
And, he fell short this time.
Yeah, I agree with you. Just, you know, what I saw of the fight pretty much is that obviously Santa Cruz established his jab. Initially was on the back foot, not because of due to the power of Frampton, but just I think he didn't want to get countered early. He just wanted to play it safe. So I just saw him just pivoting really, throwing the jab. And obviously Frampton was working angles around him, trying to get inside, trying to get around the jab. And Santa Cruz obviously would throw the jab when Frampton would get around the jab. Obviously, one thing Santa Cruz was doing very smart, he would always hook to the body, you know, which made it frustrating. He was just, you know, throwing those pellets to the body and just, you know, building up momentum. At one point, I want to say Mauro Ronaldo said he threw over 370 jabs, Leo Santa Cruz. So I felt he was productive. It wasn't like the first fights where he was throwing a lot of punches unnecessarily. I felt that he still threw a lot of punches, but he controlled the distance. He used his range. He threw out that jab, and I don't think Frampton had an answer for it. So I'm pretty sure you feel the same way, Flaco. We'll have a part 3.
Yeah, it's going to be in Belfast, and I believe. I think that was one of the agreements to have the fight in Vegas. But, yeah, I mean, I won't mind seeing it again.
Trilogy.
I did think that Santa Cruz edged the fight. I had it for 8 to 4 rounds for Santa Cruz.
What were the final scores? Do you remember?
Yeah, it was a majority decision for Santa Cruz. One judge had it 114, and the other 2 judges had it 115-112 for Santa Cruz, if I'm not mistaken. But it was around those scores.
Close fight.
Yeah, it was a good fight. It was how can I say it? I think that Santa Cruz was dominating the fight with his reach, his distance, and his jab. And the thing that I think that Frampton should have could throw more or even put some more combinations together. Like I used to see him walk in. It was really hard for him to get in the first place. Mm-hmm. But when he get in, he would like put in one punch and probably step out.
Yeah.
Or, you know, I think he should have tried to let his hands go in because they knew they were behind in the scorecards around the 7th round probably. I think they should have put a little bit more pressure because they didn't have an answer for that jab at all. So
It's too late.
I think that they had little communication. I mean, not communication, but understand. Their corner had like little understanding of what was going on, and they couldn't capitalize on whatever plan they had.
Yeah, I just didn't think they had a good game plan. But based on what you saw, obviously on the fight, obviously if there's going to be a third one, which I think there will, what do you think Frampton can do to neutralize that? I mean, obviously Santa Cruz shown two styles. He either overwhelms you with punches, which that didn't work out for him, and this style pretty much where he puts out his jab, uses the range. So suppose Santa Cruz comes in with the same type of style. What advice would you give him as far as to keys to victory?
Well, like I said before, I think that he should put in more combinations, use more. Like I used to see him like rotate in order to like go against the jab. I'll say probably like pressure him more, use more uppercuts, and because he was a stronger guy. I remember seeing like in the first round that Frampton catch Santa Cruz flush like with a punch. I almost at the end of the round, and I could see Santa Cruz just breathing like deeply because he was hurt. Like, and then that's when the next round he came in just jabbing his heart out. So I think if the fight happened in Belfast, I think that Frampton just got to do the same thing he's been doing. Just keep the fight close, and I think he'll get the decision because he's gonna be home side advantage. But
Okay.
yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I think he just should apply more pressure.
That sounds good. No, that sounds good. No, yeah, like I said, we'll see how it turns out, but I'm glad they put a great performance.
Yeah, it was a great fight.
The belt is back in Santa Cruz's hands. So let's move on to the Mikey Garcia fight versus the Diana Zlaticanin. I apologize to this man. I don't know him, and I didn't learn how to pronounce his name. But great performance by Mikey Garcia. He scored basically my prediction was he would get a TKO, but obviously he scored a brutal knockout. I believe it was it a right hook? I think it was. I think he set him up with it. Well, he turned around, and then he caught him with a right hook. But pretty much, he was out for over a minute. Like that was a stone cold KO. Like
that was scary.
Like you hit the snooze button and just didn't wake up. But how do you see him physically? How do you see him as far as?
This guy is strong. I think it's a good weight for him. I saw Garcia, dude, a monster, bro. And Zlaticanin, I gave him a lot of props before the fight, but he didn't. Like, he looked like an amateur, completely amateur. Like, he didn't, nothing that he used to do, he did, he didn't apply enough pressure. The guy was just, once the first round came in, I was like, oh, man, he's not, I didn't see it. He wasn't himself. I don't know if it was just because Mikey's that good. But Zlaticanin, man, this guy he was done in the first round, man.
Yeah, I felt that Mikey was very patient, never was flustered.
He was a beast, dude. This guy.
The one thing about Mikey, he doesn't look like he fights out of desperation. He's really, really patient. Setting up his shots, took his time. I pretty much used the first round to figure him out and then, put him away. So congrats to him as well. Now, I guess over the weekend, the fight that couldn't happen was the Lee Selby fight. So seems to me from what I have here, I guess the fight wasn't.
Yeah, it was canceled.
It was canceled. Do you know what's going on with that or?
So basically, Jonathan Barros failed to meet licensing conditions. I don't know exactly if it was because he had any drug testing or didn't specify on that. But basically what it is that he didn't, whatever the sanctioning body's rules, some of them he didn't follow. So maybe it could have been, like when Mares didn't pass like certain like medical conditions back in New York. Maybe he had something similar. Maybe it was something with drug testing.
It's more of a legal thing. You got to be licensed.
Exactly.
And I know what protocol they have as far as to get past it.
Yeah, remember Sab Judah, one time he couldn't make it because he had child support or some stuff like that.
Yeah,
so honestly, I don't. I'm not. I don't. I didn't go into the details of what it is, but it is something similar to that. You know.
Yeah,
So.
no. I mean, hopefully that fight. Well, I mean, just see Lee Selby fight again would be a good thing. So, now moving on to the Francisco Vargas and Miguel Berchelt.
To the HBO card.
Yeah, the HBO side. That dude. Hey, I when I did my research on this guy, Miguel Berchelt, I was looking at him and was like, man, the guy's got a lot of knockouts, looks like a monster. But sometimes when you see these guys with a lot of knockouts, it feels like they build them up on paper just to look vicious. But there's something I saw about his overhand right and the way he was throwing hooks there. I kind of was concerned, but he basically decimated Francisco Vargas. The game plan, I just felt Vargas was engaging with him too much. He should have been on his back foot. I guess he was trying to put on a good show for the crowd. But I honestly felt Vargas had the wrong game plan. You know, obviously Vargas can box. He moves well around the ring. But I don't know if he was trying to give a show to the fans. And he did command his respect. He was able to get Berchelt's respect in the fight. But after a while, Berchelt, maybe he knew that he wouldn't win it by decision. That's why, he put on the gas and just put him away. So my prediction for that was way off. I picked Vargas to win by unanimous decision. So I'm eating crow, like they say. So Berchelt put him away in the 11th round KO. So, I mean, what do you think of this? At this point, I would say not even a prospect. He's a contender. What do you think?
This is what you call cherry picking gone wrong.
Cherry pick when cherry picks go wrong. Starring Danny Garcia. I'll take Herrera.
Basically, they put Vargas with an opponent that he was gonna look good, a guy that had been knocked out before, and I don't really think that this kid Miguel Berchelt.
Miguel Berchelt.
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 Is that good of a fighter? He got a lot of flaws. He comes in with his hands down. He had no defense, and the kid, he could take a punch, and he took Vargas punches. But I think that what happened is that he had come with 2 previous wars, and that affected him, and it took steams off for him. So he wasn't himself. Even when he wasn't half of the guy that
he's an older guy too. That's the other thing.
Yeah, but he wasn't half of the guy that we used to see. Like, this guy would just a shell of himself in the ring. And the kid took advantage of it. Miguel did what he was supposed to, and he basically broke down Vargas. He cut Vargas, and I'm not sure if it was a headbutt or it was caused by a punch. It might have been a headbutt, but think about it. A fight against Takashi Miura, who also was on that undercard, and he's a warrior himself, and a fight against Alito that was both fight a year, and then you come in and fighting a tough opponent, and you're not being 100%. I mean, this kid just took advantage of it, and now he's a world champion. So
world champion.
I want to see more of Miguel Berchelt. Kid, got heart.
Maybe he can fight Takashi Miura.
Then that would be a good fight too.
I think that's what was supposed to happen. Because moving into that as well.
Yeah.
Takashi Miura won his fight against Miguel Roman. So pretty much, I was gonna assume that it was gonna be Takashi Miura versus Francisco Vargas. They were gonna fight again, but since Takashi Miura won this time, and obviously Berchelt won, it would only be right if Berchelt and Miura fight each other, and then see who wins in that. And hopefully one of those guys, who knows, maybe they want to fight Lomachenko.
Yeah, but the thing is that, and I think that's what Vargas was trying to do, stay on his category of fighters, basically these booth kind of boxers that stay in the pocket and just throw punches. And that's why I think he picked Miguel to fight. And I think they're going to do the same thing. I think Miguel is smart enough. He's going to look for maybe a Salido fight or a Takati Miura fight. I don't think he's going to try to go for a Lomachenko. That's going to be a real hard fight for him. Any of those guys are going to be hard for him. Lee Selby, any of those guys. Even the guys from the other card. Frampton and Santa Cruz. Those guys will give him hell.
It's a stacked division, man. You gotta pick your battles. So I think that covered all the fights. Pretty much. What's pretty recent news now, and I'm surprised in it. From what we've gathered, Miguel Cotto and Kirkland, I guess they've canceled their fight. I guess Kirkland canceled the fight due to injury. I guess he was working with Ann Wolf, probably pushed him too hard. He was like, fuck this, I quit. I mean, it would have been a good payday fight. But the other thing is, I'm pretty sure you feel the same way. With all due respect, I mean, I'm not cheap with boxing, but I was not willing to pay pay-per-view for that fight.
Yeah, I think there was more into it. I think that somebody calculated numbers and was like, yo, we can't pay you guys this amount of money, even if it's pay-per-view. I think the media didn't react well to that fight.
Yeah, no one reacted well. It's just it was a fight that was made, but Cotto's good depending on who you put in front of him.
Yeah.
Novelty fights work great with Cotto, If Cotto, I mean, looking at the division, hey, you know who Cotto could fight would be a great idea? If he fights what was Boo Boo's name?
Andrade?
Yeah, Andrade. He could fight him at 154, build him up, you know what I'm saying? That would be a great fight, even if he loses, and then you could put that kid on the map.
Yeah, him or even Timothy Bradley. I'm dying to see a Cotto-Timothy Bradley fight. But I don't know. There's guys that he could fight even at 147. I mean, at 154, or guys that he want to bring up from 147. If that's the case, there's a lot of good names like Bradley. He could fight, like you said, Andrade. He could fight one of the Charles brothers.
Yeah, that'll be great.
Hey, he could even fight. If it's for free, I don't mind watching him Margarito again.
Get him out of retirement. I mean, go break your other over the bone. Just break it.
No, I mean, if it's fights that make sense, I don't mind. But I mean, this fight didn't make sense at all, man.
The numbers don't add up.
Nah.
So basically, now that we've covered that, I mean, is there anything else in the boxing rumor mill that you can see that before we move on to the cards coming up this weekend that I'm thinking about?
Well, I just heard that they added Andalese to the Triple G fight. I mean, that was on the card, Triple G,
snap.
Jacobs. I think that's going to be great.
They're trying to build the next Triple G fight. Hold on, didn't I also heard, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I also heard that Billy Joe Saunders, I guess, they're out of respect or something. I guess Triple G and Saunders. I guess.
Yeah, but supposedly they don't want to announce it yet. They don't want to disrespect Jacobs, but supposedly there are talks about that fight happening in Kazakhstan. Also another rumor, Mr. De La Hoya, CEO of Golden Boy, arrested for DUI. Exactly. This guy, man, never learns. But what can we say?
Sir, we need you to do the walk and turn in heels or barefoot.
With the fishnets on or without it?
The fishnets on or no? Okay.
So
bend over and touch your toes.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with Oscar, man. He got to put himself together. I mean, guy with money, he shouldn't be taking an Uber or have a designated driver and a drink.
I think it's just I think he does have a drug problem. It's just,
yeah, I mean,
it's sad, man. So we would just, everyone has their own demons, man.
But good news on the other side, he got a contract with ESPN now. He's gonna take over the ESPN when it comes to boxing. I don't know what names I know we're not gonna see Canelo on ESPN, that's for sure. But
it sounds like to me, if I were him to build fights, I would more than likely put those fights he puts up in the Belasco Theater, those young fighters he has.
Yeah, that's probably gonna put there. But he got to come with at least decent names, names that we know. I understand you want to build his fighters, but nobody's gonna tune in to watch a no-name guy. It's good to have like a decent name guy in order to attract the viewers and then showcase his smaller guys. But So you want to bring in the Luis Collazo win? Over
vicious, man. Pretty much this guy's a fighter from Brooklyn. Obviously he's had a bad past. Pretty much he didn't get the type of upbringing that other fighters got. But pretty much he scored an impressive knockout win over Sammy Vasquez. I don't know if you guys remember who Sammy Vasquez is, but he's the Army veteran from the military. But I think
Pittsburgh.
Yeah, he's from Pittsburgh, from the Steelers state. So pretty much he scored that vicious knockdown over him. So I'm just thinking Luis Collazo, I think is a very good fighter. But it seems like to me when he fought Amir Khan and when he fought Thurman, like, you know, he wasn't able to bring it to that level of opposition. Even with Thurman, man, we hit him with that body shot, man. It felt like if it wasn't for his eye, he could have done a lot more. But I'm proud that he got that victory, and let's see, you know, they put him in a position to get a fight against a guy, you know, A-level fighter or a fight that'll make him good money.
The thing about Sammy Vasquez, man, I had never been hype on him. I think that he's too small for 147. I think he should be fighting at junior welterweight. The kid, you know, he doesn't look that big on fight night, and they should have taken it easy with him. You know, they gave him Felix Diaz, and this fight was supposed to happen before, but then Collazo got injured during training, and then he ended up fighting Felix Diaz. And if you compare both fights, Collazo just destroyed him compared to what Felix Diaz did to him. So I think that if Sammy Vasquez want to come back in his career, he should just say, you know, I made a mistake. 147 wasn't for me, and fight at a junior welterweight. I think that's a better division for him. I think he's too small for the division, and he still need a lot of things to work on. You know, he need to go to the drawing board and hopefully, you know,
it's not the end, man.
Yeah, it's not the end. I think that against, you know, lower opposition, he'll do great, but I don't think he's great. He's there for those top opposition. I think Collazo's like a gatekeeper, and if you can't go through a gatekeeper, it means you don't belong on the top contenders. So I think he should go to the drawing board, but I would really recommend him going to junior welterweight. But I don't know if he could make the weight, or if he got the weight issue, or something that is on his plan. But if he want to keep his career alive, I think Vasquez should just go to junior welterweight. So what else we got?
Well, yeah, moving forward, we have for this weekend. I know there's fights coming up on the 18th, but we'll just talk about the two fights coming up this weekend. We have Robert Easter Jr. versus Luis Cruz. It's going to be for Easter's IBF lightweight title. Look, this should be like a question, but I obviously think Easter's going to win. I don't see Luis Cruz putting much of a fight on there. Frankly, man, I don't even recognize who he is. So.
Yeah, I at the top of my head, I probably might, because I watch a lot of boxing, but as a top of my head, I can't remember who Luis Cruz is. But yeah, Easter is at another level. This kid is gonna come to fight, and he's hot, man. He's a hot, for me, he's a hot prospect with a belt.
Took that belt off of Richard Comey.
Yeah, it was.
So this is actually his first defense. This will be his first title defense.
Because that was a bacon belt. So, Easter is a beast, man. This kid is gonna come in and knock out. Yeah,
that's what I'm predicting as well. But yeah, I guess the fights this weekend are gonna be in Ohio. I'm guessing this will be Adrian Broner production.
About Billion production.
Hey, but you know. So you got that fight this weekend, and then you also have the
Rasheen Warren fight in the undercard.
For those of you guys who don't remember who Rasheen Warren is, he fought Juan Carlos Payano. He fought him for the WBA Super World Bantam weight title.
Yeah, in the first fight, it was a real close fight, and Payano edged it with a split decision. And then they rematched it again, and Rasheen actually got a majority decision on the second fight. Both fight real close, real action-packed fight, you know, and Rasheen made his dream come true and became a world champion.
I honestly think after this fight, they make a good match with each other, him and Payano. Probably should fight for a third fight, you know.
Yeah, and Payano also came out a really impressive win. The thing about Payano is that he lacks power. This kid would have had a little bit more power.
His defense is on point.
Yeah.
So I mean, right now he's winning. He just scored a TKO not too long ago in January. So hopefully, if both of them keep winning, they could probably meet again, and then these guys could do a trilogy.
Yeah, without a doubt, I could see a third fight happening.
So yeah, that's pretty much what we have going on. Anything else you got or?
Nah, man. Just we are a month away from your boy Danny Garcia getting his taken away.
Keith Thurman's taking that first, so man.
Yeah, he's taking it away from Garcia.
Danny Garcia, right? He's gonna not hook him up tight. He's gonna just hook him to the body. Cause you gotta. Well, I don't want to, like I'm saying, you're baiting me into my prediction. I don't want to give my reasons why, but you could just look at both of them, who the bigger man is. Danny Garcia is way taller than him by like 2 inches. Keith Thurman is only 5'7". Danny Garcia is 5'9". He's going to be the bigger guy. The only thing is, people say, of course, Keith Thurman has power, but one interesting fact I learned about Keith Thurman, I was researching him. Do you know Danny Garcia has never fought a fighter that was undefeated and taken his O, but Keith Thurman has fought at least, if you look at his record, I believe he has at least 3 fighters that he's taken his O from.
About to be poor.
So I think he took he took someone's. I'm just bear with me.
Diego Chavez. He took his O. Chavez was pretty good. The thing about Chavez is that he had no discipline, and also they just brought him from Argentina, but the kid had skills. They brought him to Argentina and just fed him to the big dogs, you know what I mean? Into the wolf. Yeah, so, he had a fight with Keith Thurman, with Bradley, and with Rios. And the Rios fight, that was shaky. We know that, he was throwing Rios, and then they disqualified him for no freaking reason.
Yeah, if you look at his career, Keith Thurman has been able to score more wins over undefeated fighters. Obviously, early in his career, beat a guy named Boone, but then he also beat another guy named Bell, who's undefeated, a guy named Hoskins undefeated, and obviously the most notable people. He took Boondu's first L. Yeah. And, I wanted to say Porter in this case, but no, it was kind of, but he did defeat him in a convincing way. But as far as the Garcia thing, man, I definitely see Garcia winning. I see him as the underdog, but this fight had to happen, and, Danny and Team Garcia will be victorious.
Look, you said Danny's bigger. Danny is taller, but he's not like body wise. He's not bigger. Keith Thurman has fought as big as 147. Keith Thurman is a big dude, like body frame completely. Like he have trouble making weight. Like he used what do you call that stuff? You stick the tube up of your ass. Colonics to drain himself.
So we're gonna put this plug in your butt and fill it up with water and rinse your butthole and anus. Are you ready? I'm ready. I don't know how you could be a tough guy and call yourself one time and then put colonics in your butt.
I don't know. Those are rumors.
I feel imagine wouldn't you feel like weird if water was going in your butt, like at a high rate, like with a pressure with water? Like, I don't know.
They do the same.
And then you feel like, it kind of feels good. And then you kind of feel like,
But then don't they do the same thing to do the colonic?
You're talking about when they clean?
They check for cancer on your.
Oh, you talking about the colonoscopy?
Yeah, they do the same thing.
I don't know.
They put tubes up your.
I can't say yet. I'm too young.
I'm young too, but that's
hopefully like in 30 years. Then
I know my parents, they went through that, and I think they it was some similar process. So I mean,
I wonder if the doctor hushes you right before as you turn your head away
and tell you, you're gonna be fine.
You're gonna be fine. Anyway, we have really more to say for this podcast. We're going to close it off. Shout out to Gian, Brian. Hey, guys, we'll see you soon. Anything you want to add?
Not much, man. Like JC said, we apologize for last week. I felt bad in my heart that we couldn't make it. It just, we were close of making the podcast. It's just our schedule is really. But soon we're gonna have a lot more time. We have a lot planned for this podcast and for this show and for this team. It's gonna come. So if you are our listener, be prepared because we're gonna bring a lot more boxing for you guys. And this year has been so far a great year for boxing, man. We had amazing cards with this past weekend and 2 weeks prior to that. You know, the year started awesome. I can't complain. Like, as a boxing fan, I have not complained a bit. And there's a lot more to come, man. We got Triple G Jacobs. We got, we don't have Code no more, but, you know, we got.
Can't name it off the top of our head, but yeah.
Yeah, but we got Thurman Garcia. And those are fights that are just next month. Like, you know, I'm super excited about it.
Still February, guys.
Yeah, and I'm super excited about the Quadras versus Broner fight. That fight I think is gonna be awesome. Quadras is a kid that I'm saying, is it Quadras?
Granados.
Granados. I'm sorry. Adrian Granados.
Adrian Broner versus Adrian Granados.
Yeah, Granados is a kid that brings it. You know, he throws a lot of punches. He doesn't have a lot of pop in his punches, but he could bring it. And we saw how he broke down Amir Iman, man. So I'm not saying that Broner is Amir Iman, because Broner is way bigger than Iman. But
I think after the losses that Broner has had, he'll know how to handle pressure. You got to think Broner fought Maidana and Porter, that are two very good pressure fighters. So if pressure is what he has to bring,
and both hit hard.
I don't think this guy's gonna stand much of a chance. I see. Well, I don't want to give my prediction. It'll be for next week, but I see Broner winning this fight. So.
Yeah, I agree with you, but I do think it's going to be a great fight, because Granados is no pushover.
It'll be exciting.
This kid's going to come to bring it. But, yeah, guys, thanks a lot again. Follow us on Instagram at Boxing Rampage. You can email us at boxingrampage1@gmail.com. Follow us on iTunes also.
Tell your friends.
Tell your friends.
Yeah.
Tell them about us. So, like,
spread the word.
These geeky guys that talk boxing.
Tell your friends to follow us, and we'll see you later.
All right, guys. Thanks a lot for listening.
All right, out.
Have a good one.